Queen Elizabeth II's first visit to Australia. Queen Elizabeth II's first visit to Australia in 1954 was a historic and transformative event, capturing the hearts and attention of millions. This journey was not only a momentous occasion for the young Queen, but also a profound cultural milestone for Australians. As the first reigning monarch to set foot on Australian soil, Queen Elizabeth's tour symbolized the connection between the British monarchy and the Commonwealth nation of Australia. Her presence marked the beginning of a new era in the relationship between Australia and the United Kingdom, bringing about a unique blend of loyalty, admiration, and renewed national identity. This video explores the Queen's journey, her impact on Australian society, and the significance of her visit for the country's future. Background to the visit. In 1952, at just 25 years old, Queen Elizabeth I ascended the throne following the sudden death of her father, King George VI. A year later, she was officially crowned, and it was apparent that a royal tour of the Commonwealth would be essential for affirming her new role. For Australia, this visit was not just symbolic. It was a powerful reminder of the nation's ties to the British monarchy. Australia, which had gained its independence through the Statute of Westminster in 1931, still retained strong cultural and political ties with Britain. Queen Elizabeth's visit was meant to strengthen these bonds while honoring the nation's identity within the Commonwealth. The Queen's visit was meticulously planned by the Australian government and the Buckingham Palace, with nearly 6 months dedicated to preparation. The route, the protocol, and even the Queen's wardrobe were arranged to fit the grandeur expected of a historic royal visit. Australians eagerly anticipated the arrival of their young Queen, with newspapers, magazines, and newsreels fueling public excitement. The arrival, a nation welcomes its Queen. On February 3, 1954, Queen Elizabeth I and her husband, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, arrived in Sydney aboard the SS Gothic. Her arrival was a sight never before witnessed in the country. Sydney Harbour was packed with thousands of spectators, while boats lined the water and crowds lined the streets in anticipation. The energy was palpable as Australia witnessed the arrival of the first reigning British monarch. The Queen, wearing a light-colored dress and her signature pearls, waved to the cheering crowd, marking a moment that would be etched into the memory of many Australians. Her first speech set the tone for her tour. She expressed her admiration for Australia and her excitement to meet its people, noting that she was grateful to be in a country known for its warmth and spirit. Her words resonated deeply, and it became clear that this visit would be more than just ceremonial. It was a cultural exchange. The royal tour begins. The Queen's visit to Australia spanned nearly 2 months, during which she traveled to every state and territory except the Northern Territory. Her journey included major cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane, along with regional towns and rural communities, covering over 10,000 miles. For many Australians, this was the first and possibly only time they would see a member of the royal family, let alone the reigning Queen. Australians of all backgrounds came to see her, often traveling long distances to catch a glimpse. Schools were closed, public holidays were declared, and towns were decorated with Union Jacks and Australian flags. Each stop on her itinerary featured elaborate parades, receptions, and displays of local culture and heritage. It was during this tour that Australia's unique identity within the Commonwealth was celebrated alongside its connection to Britain. The Queen's connection with the Australian public. One of the most remarkable aspects of Queen Elizabeth's visit was her connection with the Australian public. Although she maintained the dignity and decorum expected of a monarch, her interactions with Australians were warm and genuine. She showed a keen interest in the nation's culture, economy, and challenges, and people responded positively to her authenticity. In Sydney, the Queen attended a lavish reception at the Sydney Opera House, then under construction. In Melbourne, she visited the famous Melbourne Cricket Ground, MCG, where she observed Australia's love for sports firsthand. In Queensland, she traveled through rural areas, visiting farmers, miners, and schoolchildren in remote communities. Her interactions were more than mere formality. They were moments of real connection that left a lasting impression on the Australian people. A defining moment came when the Queen visited Canberra, the nation's capital. She opened the federal parliament, a landmark event that underscored her role as Australia's head of state. For Australians, this event symbolized the balance between their emerging national identity and loyalty to the monarchy. Through her actions and words, Queen Elizabeth II demonstrated her commitment to serving the people, regardless of distance or formality. Lasting impact on Australian society. Queen Elizabeth II's first visit to Australia had a lasting impact on the nation, both culturally and politically. Her presence underscored Australia's evolving sense of independence while reinforcing its connection to the British Crown. This visit marked a period when Australians began to see their country as an important member of the Commonwealth, not just a distant colony. While the Queen represented tradition, her young age and dedication to her duties resonated with the Australian public, bridging generations and bringing a renewed sense of loyalty. The visit also influenced Australia's stance on the monarchy. The tour was widely regarded as a success, fostering admiration and respect for Queen Elizabeth II that would carry forward in the decades to come. For many Australians, the Queen became a symbol of stability and continuity in an era of change, especially as Australia's global role and self-identity evolved. The Queen's visit also shaped Australia's media landscape. Newspapers, radio stations, and newsreels covered her tour extensively, capturing every detail. This marked a new era in media as Australians experienced a shared moment of excitement and national pride. The tour highlighted the importance of media in uniting the country, a factor that would become increasingly relevant as technology evolved. Reflections on Queen Elizabeth II's legacy in Australia. Queen Elizabeth II's first visit to Australia in 1954 left a legacy that would endure for generations. For many Australians, she became more than a monarch. She was a respected figure who, through her actions, demonstrated the values of service, duty, and respect. Her presence reinforced the importance of the Commonwealth, even as Australia's sense of independence grew. Over the years, Queen Elizabeth visited Australia 16 times, each visit reflecting different stages of the country's development. Her visits became opportunities for Australians to reflect on their identity and values. While the debate over the monarchy continued and Republican movements gained traction, her enduring popularity remained a testament to the bond she formed with the Australian people during her first visit. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.